Marina walked them back down the narrow stairs, through the dim bar, to the red curtains that separated La Ventana Roja from the rest of the world. Before they stepped outside, she spoke once more. "If you see the spiral again," she said, "you come back here, not to the shop, not to your father. Here. Entiendes?" "Entiendo," Aurelio said. Choby nodded. They stepped through the curtains into the late afternoon light. Behind them, Marina watched from the threshold, her silver hair catching the last of the sun. Then the curtains fell closed, and she disappeared back into the red-lit world, where secrets were currency, and truth was something you paid for one drink at a time. Outside, the street felt louder than it had before. Aurelio and Choby walked back to the truck in silence. When they climbed in, Aurelio didn't start the engine right away. He just sat there, hands on the wheel, staring at nothing. "You okay?" the boy asked. "Yeah." They got to the shop and unloaded their gear. Aurelio met with Don Severo and gave him a report, as agreed. Choby was approaching a threshold in his life. He continued being a kid for a few months, knowing it was falling behind. He continues with school, but had bigger adventures in mind. Don Severo continued with his life at work with his radio stations and other technical hobbies. Aurelio has moved on and runs a dominoes game at night and cuts hair in a barbershop in the day. He moved to Victoria, Tamaulipas. My next adventure with Don Severo is at Playa Lauro VR and a national radio ham emergency communications contest. This is where our next chapter begins. Don Severo, Choby, and several members of the local radio ham club have set up a campground on Playa Lauro VR. You can see El Faro 17 from here. The next day, the weather begins to change. Still 30 miles out, but closing. "We've got maybe 6 hours," Don Severo said. "Maybe less." He stood, walked to the tent flap, looked out at the camp. 3 tents, antenna array, the main station bristling with expensive equipment that suddenly looked very fragile. "We pack methodically," he said, "not panicked. Methodical. Everything non-essential gets left. Equipment stays. We'll come back for it when the storm passes. Priority is people and vehicles. Understood?" "Understood," Doña Lupe said. The Casablanca protected. The radio operators moved fast, but without hysteria. They'd trained for this, talked about it, hoped it wouldn't happen. Now it was happening, and they shifted into protocol mode. Antennas came down, cases got packed. The main station's expensive tube rigs were wrapped in canvas, set carefully in the truck beds. Doña Lupe made the call to her repeater station in Reynosa, already offline, already secured. Choby worked alongside the men, coiling cable, stacking boxes. His hands moved on muscle memory. His mind was somewhere else. He kept watching his father. Don Severo moved with precision, not rushed, not calm either. Something in between. A man executing a plan he'd already run through in his head 100 times. He went to the back truck bed where the Casablanca sat, still wrapped in its towel, still on its milk crate. He didn't hand it to someone else. He picked it up himself, held it carefully, like it was made of glass, like one wrong move would shatter something that couldn't be repaired. Then he walked it over to the small trailer, the one they'd brought for extra storage, the one that was set back from the main camp, higher on the dune, away from the tide line. He opened the trailer carefully. Inside, spare rope, canvas, tools, the cooler with leftover tortas from yesterday, extra fuel cans. Don Severo set the Casablanca down inside the trailer, on a flat spot between 2 boxes. He adjusted it once, twice, making sure it was stable. Then he looked at it for a long moment, like he was memorizing its position. His lips moved, not speaking aloud, just moving. A prayer, maybe, or an instruction. Then he closed the trailer door, locked it. Choby watched from across the camp, pretending to coil cable, seeing everything. Their eyes met for maybe 2 seconds. Long enough. Long enough for Don Severo to see that Choby knew, that Choby understood what his father had just done. Not hiding the Casablanca, but placing it, entrusting it, leaving it on purpose. Then Don Severo turned away and went back to packing. Evacuation chaos. By 1100 hours, the sky had turned the color of old bruises. The wind had teeth now. It pulled at the tent fabric, knocked over a folding chair, sent a loose piece of antenna tumbling across the sand. The barometer needle had dropped another quarter inch. "We need to move," one of the operators said. "Now." "5 more minutes," Don Severo said. "Make sure we're not leaving anything important." "Everything's important," Doña Lupe said. "And it's all staying here. That's the point." The water had started creeping higher. The tide line that had been 50 yards away that morning was now 30 yards away. The lagoon wasn't attacking, it was just rising, patient, inevitable, like it had decided to reclaim some territory and wasn't in any hurry about it. Carlos was arguing about taking the main station radio. "It's government property," he kept saying. "We can't just leave it." "Yes, we can," Don Severo said. "And we are. It's hardware. We're people. People matter more." "But," no buts. "Move." The truck started up. Engines that had been idling or off for the past hour coughed to life. The sound seemed obscene in the wind noise. Too mechanical. Too fragile. Choby climbed into his father's truck, the same one they'd driven in on. The passenger seat. The view back toward the trailer where the Casablanca sat, wrapped and waiting. "You see that?" Don Severo asked, starting the engine. "Yeah," Choby said. "Good. Remember where it is, in case we need to come back before it's officially safe." Choby looked at his father. "We're coming back?" "Eventually, but not immediately. The storm has to pass first. The surge has to drop. The roads have to be passable." Don Severo put the truck in gear. "These things take time. But we are coming back?" "Yes," Don Severo said. "We are." He drove slowly, carefully, navigating around the other trucks that were forming a convoy out of the camp. The last vehicle in line, heading inland, heading away from the water. The keys. Don Severo stood, walked to the key rack by the door, looked at the keys hanging there. The work truck, the main vehicle, the old 57 F-100 that had belonged to his father, that still smelled like decades and tobacco, and a man who'd gone out to the lagoon with nothing but a compass and a hunch, and hadn't come back. He reached for it, held it for a moment, feeling the weight, then turned back to face Lucilo. "You know what happened to your grandfather," Don Severo said. "He felt a pull, went out there young, curious, unable to ignore it." "And he didn't come back," Lucilo said. "No, he didn't." "So why are you letting me go?" Don Severo walked to the desk, pulled out a leather pouch. Inside, a compass, a map, a field strength meter. He set it on the workbench in front of Lucilo. "Because," Don Severo said, "refusing won't stop it. The pull won't disappear just because you ignore it. And maybe, just maybe, if you go when you're ready, with tools, with knowledge, knowing someone waits for your return." He paused. "Maybe you'll understand something your grandfather never got the chance to." He handed Lucilo the keys. "Stay on the back roads," Don Severo said. "Don't take the highway if it looks washed out. If you see water over the road, you turn around. No heroics." "Yes, sir." "And if the pull gets too strong, if it feels like something's trying to drag you under, you get in the truck and you drive home. You don't stop. You don't look back. You don't try to be brave. You just come home. Understand?" "I understand. Promise me." "I promise." Don Severo held his gaze for a long moment, then nodded once, sharp, final. "Go in the morning," he said. "Early, before your mother wakes up. Take supplies, water, food, a jacket. Leave a note saying you're checking on the camp equipment. I'll cover for you if she asks." "What if I'm not back by dark?" "Then I'll come looking," Don Severo said. "But you will be back by dark, won't you?" "Yes," Lucilo said. "I will." That night, Lucilo lay in bed unable to sleep. He'd packed a small bag in the truck bed before dawn. canteen, notebook, the compass and meter from his father's pouch, a jacket, a flashlight, rope, the map that showed the roads to Playa Laudo Villar, the dunes, Faro 17 marked with careful pencil marks. He lay there in the dark, feeling it. The pull, stronger now than it had been in days. Like the storm had cleared something away. Like the reshaping of the coast had brought the source closer. Like something that had been sleeping was waking up and calling specifically to him. He thought about his grandfather, a man he'd never met. A man who'd felt this same thing and gone out with a compass and a hunch, and hadn't come back. What had he found? What had called to him so strongly that he'd never returned? Or, the question that kept him awake, had his grandfather chosen not to return? Had he found something so necessary, so real, that the normal world had become irrelevant? Lucilo didn't know, but he knew he had to find out. He knew that in the morning, when the sun came up over Matamoros, he would take the old F-100 and drive east toward the coast. He would find the trailer where his father had left it. He would feel the pull intensify as he got closer, and he would understand, finally, what it meant. His childhood was ending. The maps were no longer enough. The only way forward was alone, toward the pull, into the mystery, through whatever came next. He left before dawn. The truck started on the first try. The engine settled into its rough idle, patient and reliable. The streets of Matamoros were empty in that pre-dawn hour when night workers have gone home and day workers haven't yet risen. A few dogs, a street sweeper, the smell of fresh pan dulce from the panaderia already open. Lucilo drove east, taking the back roads like his father had instructed.
Las Crónicas del Río Bravo.
Chapter 3. The Threshold.